Alright, guys. Coronavirus. Is it a conspiracy or is it a coincidence? Well, I'll let you determine that. I'm just going to give you the facts here. Okay? And I will say, pretty much all this information is publicly available. The only reason why you wouldn't know it would be either you don't care, you're apathetic, or you simply believe what the news tells you. I don't need to say any more about that. Alright, so where we're at right now, centerforhealthsecurity.org/event 201, a global pandemic exercise. See this? Here at the top. Oh, why is it doing that? Okay. So that's off of there. Alright, so let's scroll down. See what event 201 is. Or was, I should say. Okay, the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security, in partnership with the World Economic Forum and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, hosted Event 201. We'll get back to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation later, kind of like the Clinton Foundation. Okay, a high-level pandemic exercise on October 18th, 2019, in New York, New York. The exercise illustrated areas where public-private partnerships will be necessary during the response to a severe pandemic in order to diminish large-scale economic and societal consequences. Statement about income in our pandemic exercise. Maybe we'll look at that later. I don't think it's that relevant. In recent years, the world has seen a growing number of epidemic events, amounting to approximately 200 events annually. These events are increasing, and they are disruptive to health, economies, and society. Sound familiar? Definitely should. Okay. Managing these events already strains global capacity, even absent a pandemic threat. Experts agree that it is only a matter of time before one of these epidemics becomes global. A pandemic with potentially catastrophic consequences, a severe pandemic, which becomes Event 201, would require reliable cooperation among several industries, national governments, and key international institutions. Sounds like what we're dealing with right now, doesn't it? Yeah? I think so. Okay, so let's just go into this article on this website. It's parlo.com. I'm not familiar with them, but it was sent to me, so I'm checking it out. It's a very good argument here. Event 201, the most serious conspiracy theory regarding COVID-19. Okay. Notice Bill Gates there in the White House. Let's not overlook that. Okay. Social media. Can your mind toggle on things you don't need to worry about? Conspiracy theories have been flooding. However, Event 201 is the most intriguing of them all. Let's see. Event 201, the start of World War III or not? A biological war per se, destroying the entire world in 18 months. Statisticians have been making claims that by the end of 2020, 60% of the entire population will have COVID-19. Sounds great. Okay. 3 major conspiracies are circulating, which I think should be discussed. The famous book, The Eyes of Darkness by Dean Koontz, in which he mentions a virus called Wuhan 400, which will eradicate the entire world. That's interesting. Named after Wuhan, where the coronavirus supposedly came from. That doesn't sound plain to me. Kappa? Okay. Then, of course, we have the notion that American soldiers brought the virus to China, although Donald Trump keeps referring to the virus as Chinese virus, which is hilarious till you realize. However, Event 201 is the most mind-boggling of them all. Can you imagine world leaders meeting to discuss how to prevent a virus outbreak that can kill 65 million people 3 months prior? Did you know that Bill Gates predicted that 33 million people can die from coronavirus in 250 days? Exactly. In October 2019, Bill Gates and other world leaders, including White House officials, were part of an event called Event 201. Moreover, the event was held by Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security. And you're looking at them too, alright? I said looking at them, guys, I mean do your own research, alright? Don't take it from me. Look at the resources, do your research, come to your own conclusions, alright? Okay. Well-known pharmaceutical giants and Pentagon leaders discussed the effects of a virus that could eliminate 60 million people in 18 months. Nothing suspicious here. Only 2 people can make such accurate predictions, either Nostradamus or the person who created the virus. Nonetheless, the timing could not be more uncanny. 3 months and the course of the entire world has shifted. Nonetheless, a study this expensive must have had a sponsor. No individual can do this without a tremendous back. One thing is for sure that either some government of some giant pharmaceutical is involved in the outbreak of COVID-19. Supposed to be an or. There's a lot of typos in this. Sorry. Alright. Globalization is the name of salvation. Is the U.S. responsible for the outbreak of pandemic COVID-19? Speculations and theories support the fact that the U.S. will benefit from it the most. However, many writers believe that the United States has already found the cure of the virus and is waiting for the fattest bid. Okay. Nonetheless, the lives of innocents are at stake, and governments seem to be useless right now. Aren't they always? One more thing. Event 201 has left a question unanswered. Why was the cure not made simultaneously? In World War II, whenever the Germans would test a virus or a biological weapon, they would make the antidote simultaneously. Moreover, one thing is for sure, the creator of coronavirus did not create it as an experiment. Being the perfect example of a biological weapon, millions of lives are at risk. Claims made by Johns Hopkins professor that there are more than 500,000 in the U.S. alone is giving people goosebumps. Which at this time, I think the U.S. cases are like, 200,000? They're estimating 500,000? I mean, seems fishy to me. Anyhow, Event 201 cannot be proven since theorists don't have enough evidence to support their claims. Let it be a biological weapon, a conspiracy, or a solid move to destabilize the world. All we pray for is the innocent lives that will be caught in the middle. Really good article. Alright, so on that note, so we established, back on this page, right, that the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation hosted Event 201, right? Right. We established that. All right. No one's questioning that? All right, cool. So let's move on to this. Bill Gates is funding new factories for 7 potential coronavirus vaccines, even though it will waste billions of dollars. What a nice guy. If you know anything about vaccines and Bill Gates, this ain't the first time, he's been involved with vaccines. I'm not going to say anything more about that. Don't want to have a bunch of bickering, down in the comment section. So I'm just going to leave it there. Do your own research, guys. Okay, there's a nice picture of Bill Gates. Looking pretty creepy. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see. Bill Gates is plugging money into building factories for 7 promising coronavirus vaccine candidates, even though it will mean wasting billions of dollars. On Thursday's episode of The Daily Show, the Microsoft billionaire told the host Trevor Noah that his philanthropic organization, the Gates Foundation, could mobilize faster than governments to fight the coronavirus outbreak. Well, I can't argue with that. Just don't think he has our, best health at mind. Because our foundation has such deep expertise in infectious diseases, we thought about the epidemic. We did fund some things to be more prepared, like a vaccine effort, Gates said. Our early money can accelerate things. Of course it can. Accelerate what, I wonder? Gates said he was picking the top 7 vaccine candidates and building manufacturing capacity for them. Even though we'll end up picking at most 2 of them, we're going to fund factories for all 7. just so that we don't waste time in serially saying, okay, which vaccine works, and then building the factory, he said. Gates said that simultaneously testing and building manufacturing capacity is essential to the quick development of a vaccine, which Gates thinks could take about 18 months. In a Washington Post-op article published earlier this week, Gates said some of the top candidates required unique equipment. It'll be a few $billion we'll waste on manufacturing for the constructs that don't get picked because something else is better, Gates said in the clip. But a few billion in this, the situation we're in, where there's trillions of dollars being lost economically, it is worth it. The Gates Foundation can get that bootstrapped and get it going and save months because every month counts, he added. These are quotes from The Daily Show, April 3rd, 2020. Okay? Go ahead and watch it if you don't believe it. Gates and his wife, Melinda Gates, have already pledged $100 million toward fighting the coronavirus pandemic, including an effort to send at-home coronavirus test kits to people in Washington state. I wonder why they're doing that, you know? I don't know that Microsoft is selling less computers because of this, right? If anything, they're selling more, so they're definitely profiting from this, so why would they pledge that money? Question. What's the answer? I don't know, you'll have to find out. In his post-op article, Gates urged the government to enforce stricter lockdown measures in every state and estimated that the U.S. would need another 10 weeks of nationwide shutdowns to effectively deal with the crisis. I just like how these billionaires are like authorities on things. Like, who gave you this authority? You know, why are people listening to you? I don't understand it. You know, but the sheep will do what they do, right? Follow the herd. Okay. So I think that was it for this. Alright, so, you know, that's the stuff that's easily searchable on the internet. It's factual, you know, can be proven. So here we're going to take a dive off the deep end, I guess, because, you know, this is a subject that no one has any hard evidence on, but I actually love this right here. Okay. Coronavirus pandemic or 5G assault. I didn't put this together, but I thought you guys may find it interesting. This is the first info/speculation I have seen talking about a 5G link to coronavirus outbreaks. Hopefully some savvier researchers than I will look into this further. Below is some information from Europe. I was aware that radiation sickness and viral flu show the same symptoms. Some symptoms that do not overlap, such as falling suddenly on the ground without warning, are symptoms of radiation sickness only, not viral infection. You can see many videos showing people in China falling suddenly, and you can see that for sure. Radiation sickness is well documented, especially in military medical reports, and this pushes the virus story further. Yes, the coronavirus is a patented biological virus, which is widely undertested and underreported. It does affect people, but it can get killed with simple disinfectants and when inside the body with relatively simple medical protocols. No virus makes people fall over without symptoms. No viral pneumonia is dry without phlegm. Underreported. In fall 2019, China deployed 130,000 5G antennas and went live with it, beaming the population with 60 gigahertz of microwave frequencies. Sounds healthy? Known to have very powerful impact on human biology, especially on oxygen processing, lung and cardiac functions. If your lungs are not able to pump oxygen into your blood, how long is it going to take to fall over? China also claimed that it took them 13 years to build a giant antenna 5 times the size of New York City, in the neighborhood of Wuhan. Okay. Princess Cruises just invented $450 million to equip their fleet with 5G millimeter wave antennas connected with 5G satellites. The company boasts that the Diamond Princess, the one that is quarantined, is the most performant in matter of telecom. South Korea, where the epidemic is roaring, advertises that they are leading the 5G revolution. The interactive Ookla 5G map tracks 5G rollouts in cities across the globe, updated weekly from verified public sources in Ookla data. Alright, I'm going to take a look at this. I haven't seen this. So let's see this and then go back. Okay. So you're seeing what I'm seeing, right? You see this map, right? Because if you've seen the coronavirus map and you see this map, you're going to be pretty concerned, right? Is this a coincidence? Pretty much every single spot here that has 5G are the pressure points, if you will, on the coronavirus map, where most of the cases have been happening. Yeah? So, I mean, do your own research, Don't take my word for it. But seems fishy to me. I'm just a critical thinking, open-minded human being. I do dumb things like that sometimes. Like George Carlin said, I do this idiot thing called thinking. Yeah, that. Okay, so I'm going to wrap that up. Let's just go back here. Overall, we can now say that 5G is the common denominator for virus outbreaks across Europe, with the exception of the UK. It could be a false positive, but it cannot be denied, particularly when considering the cruise ships and the evidence that the cases on the ships are largely from satellite-based radiation sickness. This is rather interesting. It maps most of the known 5G sites in the world. You do have to check the pre-release thing under deployment types to get every location. So I decided to have a little fun. The first thing I did was check Italy, and lo and behold, there's 5G around Milan, just as my first research has confirmed. Then I went to check France, where the first corona cases in Europe popped up, so I searched for reports that included the locations. I found this one. Coronavirus. France confirms 3 cases of deadly China virus. The locations are Bordeaux and Paris. Over to the map, and what do I find? Paris and Bordeaux. According to this, new coronavirus cases in UK, Germany, Italy put Europe total at 31. There are German cases as well, centered around Munich. Over to the map, yep, Munich. UK data is inconsistent and varying from source to source. There would be 3 cases in York, but no 5G seems present there. In Brighton, there would be cases. There is a 5G nearby, but not likely. Milton has 105 quarantined, no 5G. There is 5G in nearby cities. London has cases and 5G confirmed. Overall, we can pretty safely say 5G is a huge common denominator of corona across Europe. This solidifies the 5G case even further. Because of the prevalence of major cities as hubs for international travelers, this could be a false positive, but we don't think that it is. The combination of a biological virus and radiation sickness cannot be ignored. If it is ignored, then those ignoring radiation sickness must be assumed to be part of a larger plot to create a crisis that leads toward mandated universal vaccines, including digital ID, along a Gates Foundation objective. So that just goes right back to what I was talking about earlier, about the Gates Foundation and vaccines. Yeah, guys, do your research on that, Don't take my word for it. Just do your research on that, okay? So, I just thought that was something I'd bring to everyone's attention, because if you actually look up on YouTube, coronavirus conspiracy, it's actually it's pretty awesome. Not awesome in like the disinformation that they're putting out, because you'll see disinformation, like the usual mainstream, be like, oh, a bunch of conspiracy theorists, oh, a bunch of quacks. But if you look at the comment section and you see the, thumbs up and thumbs down in those, they're like so many thumbs down, and like the comments are just so awesome. It really restores your hope in humanity. So, just thought I'd point this stuff out, guys. It's easily, findable using any search engine. I wouldn't recommend using Google because, you kind of track everything you do. So, unless you're into that, I'm not. I'd recommend using DuckDuckGo. You should definitely read up on them. They're awesome. Yeah, guys. On that note, privacy, things like that. I do have VPN that I'm quite fond of. You might want to check that out at the beginning of, not the beginning, at the bottom of the video. And check out this browser I'm using. It's called Brave Browser. It's also linked at the bottom of the video. Basically, it doesn't track anything. You can choose what it can track, if anything. There's a lot more options. It's, from the bottom up, based around security. And on top of that, they'll actually give you their own native cryptocurrency, the BAT token, the basic attention token. And basically what you can do with that is you can, even though you can have ads disabled, it blocks all ads by default. If you'll notice, there's no ads on this webpage, which normally, if you look at it on a normal browser, there's going to be a ton of ads on here, I'm sure. I don't know, because I have all ads blocked, so, maybe there's not ads there. But, yeah, it's something you should look into. It's very important, especially in this day and age. There's those people that are, acting like, the NSA spying on every single person in the world isn't a big deal, and nothing to hide, nothing to worry about, that kind of sheep mentality. Don't think like that, guys. Come on, think for yourself. Don't let anyone tell you what to think. Like I've said multiple times in this video, do your own research, and the famous words of George Carlin, these people don't give a fuck about you. Okay? Rest in peace, George Carlin. Duly missed. Really wish we could get your observation on what's going on today. So, that said, guys, I hope you found this information helpful, enlightening, even, hope your third eye's starting to peek through just a little bit, if it hasn't already. If you like the content, I'd really appreciate it if you thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel. As more things like this come out, I'll probably post updates on it, just to put information out there, because from what you can see everywhere else, it's all mainstream media doing their thing, covering stuff up, and calling people crazy who don't agree with them. Good old mainstream media. Totally looking out for you guys. Totally. Yeah. If you believe that, I don't know what to say to you. But God bless, guys. If you're not religious, may the universe bless you. We're in this together. And this isn't saying humanity as a whole. This is like the 99% against the 1% again, or the 0.01%, that statistic that was floating around when, what was it, Operation Wall Street years ago? You guys remember that? Anyways, guys, live in light, find the truth, and don't let people tell you what to believe. And definitely don't believe them if they do. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.